Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another Spirit Island live stream. Today we are playing my favorite board game of all time, Spirit Island. We're going to be playing the Relentless Gaze of the Sun against the Tsardom of Russia. I'm looking forward to it. I do not like Russia. Russia is tough. Russia is mean. Russia tries to kill all of our beasts, but we will try and prevent that from happening. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Yeah, it's been a good week so far. I have like 60 pages left in Wind and Truth, and that is consuming pretty much my entire waking moment. Every single one of them. So good stuff. Oh, nice. Well, I don't know. Ooh, love me some colonizer slaying. Let's go. Let's go colonizer slaying. Spirit Island is so much fun. I was talking on my stream Tuesday. I've actually been working on building out a custom spirit that if it ever gets anywhere, I'll stream it at some point. Excellent choice for a favorite board game. It's got so much modularity and so much replayability. You could sit here and play the core set for a long time. It's very Marvel Champions-esque in that sense, where there's so many different combinations that you can trial. It just works so well. Let's hop down to the table. Let's just dive right in. Why are we teasing? So, Relentless Gaze of the Sun versus Russia 3. We're gonna be playing Russia 3. Russia is probably my if I was to print a nemesis minion, it would be Russia. It kind of turns into a fear game very quickly because they have very, very robust explorers, and gets kind of annoying. So we have an additional loss condition. So we put any beasts that are destroyed by adversary rolls on this panel over here. And then if there's ever more beasts on the panel than there are on the island, the invaders win. So this is another loss condition for us. And then I'll read out our difficulty levels as they come up. The first one is called Hunters, Seek, Shell, and Hide. During setup, on each board, add a beast and explorer to the highest number land without towns or cities. So we got that here in number 8. During play, explorers do +1 damage, 2 damage. When a ravage adds a blight to a land, including cascades, destroy a beast in that land. So that's a way that we're putting beast onto this card. Level 2. The first time each action would destroy an explorer, if possible, one of those explorers is instead pushed. 1 fear when you do so. And this is really... I hate it. I hate it. So if we would destroy this, we would instead push it and cause a fear. And that's why I say a lot of my success against Russia has come from fear-based victories. It is only the first time. So if you have something that like does 2 damage, there are 2 explorers. 1 would be pushed. 1 would be destroyed. But explorers get all over this little island, which is really tough for level 3, which is competition among hunters. Ravage cards also match lands with 3 or more explorers. So we're going to be ravaging in all the lands shown here on this card, as well as any land with 3 or more explorers. And that is going to be something that I struggle to remember. So we're going to try real hard today to remember that. We are playing Relentless Gaze of the Sun, which has a fun kind of mechanic where he wants to have 3 presence in a specific land. A lot of times you rely on just having a sacred site, which is 2, but he has the ability, or he has abilities that trigger off of having 3 or more. Specifically his Relentless Punishment. So after you use a power card, if you have at least 3 presence in the origin land, you may repeat it any number of times on the same target land or lands by paying both the energy cost of the power card and 1 energy per previous use of the power you've played this turn. So say I play Blinding Glare. Blinding Glare is a 0 cost card. and say I do 2 fear. I can choose to repeat this, assuming that I have 3 presence in the land that I use this on, for 1. Then I can repeat it again for 2 energy. Then I can repeat it again for 3 energy. And I have found in at least my 2-player games, and probably in true solo even more so, repeating Blinding Glare feels like the way to go, because if I pay 1 energy, it's a fear card whenever I play Blinding Glare. So that feels pretty decent. If I have 5 suns, it's instead 3 fear. And then I can skip Ravage actions. So that is, I think, kind of my trajectory of we're probably going to go high income, which is something that I typically don't do. I usually like to go bottom row more so than the top row. Hey, what's up, buddy? And then we'll just have some fun. Maybe grab some majors. Okay. Start us out. We are exploring into jungles. So this is always fun because usually I would prioritize land number 1 here with the Dahan because I don't want them to kill the Dahan, but I also don't want them to kill the beast, so this is why rush is tough. It is our growth turn. We always get to add a presence up to 2 away, which is nice. So I'm going to go top row here, which gives us income of 2 money, 2 energy, and 1 sun constant. Plus we get to pick one of these. I guess I shouldn't take this first. I should pick one of these first. So we can reclaim cards. We're not going to do that. And add up to 3 destroyed presence together. Nice. We can gain a power card, or we can gain 2x energy and move up to 3 presence together. We're going to go ahead and gain a power card. I'm going to grab a minor just to start us out. 2, 4. You mentioned that the spirit is sand-based. Are you going to use the desert biome somehow? I imagine a sand-based spirit. That would be a slow build-up. Yep. So kind of the current playline is that you can only ever add presence into sands. This is my custom spirit, not Relentless Gaze. So you can only ever add presence into sands. And then he's highly mobile outside. So he's like a sandstorm. And so like he pushes his presence from the sands. And his leftmost innate deals with having sacred sites. So like if you have a sacred site and a certain number of elements, then like if you have actually I think it's 3 or more. It's kind of built around the idea of Relentless Gaze. If you have 3 or more in a land with these elements, then they can be counted as like badlands. You can do fear, and it's like different elements. So you kind of have this path of which elements you want to choose. And then so he's rewarded for kind of staying in one spot and creating like a massive storm there. Or the main rule is that whenever he gets added or moved into a land, you can push and explore from that land. So he's, say, moves in here, he would get pushed in here. So highly mobile. However, if there are no lands, say it was like this. If there are no lands in which the explorer can be pushed to, it gets destroyed instead. So there's no place for the explorer to escape. So it rewards you for spreading out. And so it's got this like kind of decision. Do I want to go with the high power concentrated focus on these specific lands, or do I want to try and spread out and maintain the board and just kind of keep everybody at bay and make them so they can't like grow? And so that is to make sure I remember where everyone goes by. That's kind of the balance. So that's what I'm playing with. Sweet Spirit Island, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, now I get my money. Oh, and a power card. So we really just want suns. No suns. Suns and fire, I guess. Relentless Gaze feels like a spirit that I do want to be triggering these innate powers. Sometimes the innate powers are not as important to trigger on some of our spirits, but Relentless Gaze definitely feels like one of those. What's up, Trapid? How's it going? I got flow downward, blow downwind. I'm going to push up to 1, explore, blight or town, push up to 2 towns, gather up to 3 Dahan, push up to 3, remove a blight or push up to 3 Dahan. I think I'm going to go with Call to Migrate. I don't even know. I may just go with Call to Tend and try and get that blight out of here. But I don't think I'm going to play this really. It is time to hydrate. You are so right. I'm going to grab Call to Migrate just because it has my elements and probably look to get rid of it fairly soon. Got my coffee. Okay, we got one card play. I think I'm going to go with a Unbearable Gaze. This is a slow action, 1 fear, push 2 explorers or towns from the origin or target land, or 1 from each, and that's going to help me save this beast because it's 1 away from a sacred site. Though Witherbody's Scar Stone, a really fun combo here, because you can repeat power cards. You can add a Badlands, then deal the damage by paying 1 extra, dealing 2 damage because of the Badlands, which is pretty fun. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I think what I can do here is during my slow phase, after I push these guys out, I can move everything to like here, and then I can skip their Ravage action. I love that. I think it'd be a very fun spirit. I imagine balancing it properly is a challenge. Yeah, it's that's the hard part. My cousin and I have been working on, or he's been designing, and I've been helping kind of balance a lot of the different spirits that he's been designing. And some of them, no, all of the ones that he has designed are super, super unique. I love it. And he's kind of got me like into the design aspect. I'm also working on developing a new adversary that's like beast tamers. And so like if basically the beast fight alongside the explorers. What's up? Just looking at top board games all time of other YouTubers. It's nice Spirit Island is still top 10 for so many. Nice. That's awesome. What were some of the other ones? I'm curious. Spirit Island is my favorite game of all time. We are currently playing Russia level 3, which is difficulty 6. Russia is annoying. Okay. I don't have any fast actions. Don't have any fast actions, so let's move directly into the build phase. So we're going to build here. And here. Move this over, and we're going to explore into Sands. 1 there, and 1 where we're at. During our slow phase, we're going to do this one first. So the Unbearable Gaze, we're going to spend an energy, do 1 fear, and then we're going to push 2 explorers or towns from origin or target land. I'm going to push these guys here. So that's going to save this land from the Ravage. Then I'm going to move all of my presents from origin land directly to target land. I'm going to go here. And then 1 damage to that town. I do not have any of the other kickers, so that is the end of that. Spirit Island Legacy. That would, oh my gosh, take all of my money. I would, yes, 1000%. That would be so amazing. That I am kind of surprised that that has not been designed yet. That's so cool. You designing spirits now? I do really like it. I like it a lot. Share your best design spirits. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have gotten it to. I have designed everything on the spirits besides the lore and one of their cards. Um, and so after that, I get to test it and see how. I think right now the way that it's designed, I think it could be too strong. But I'd rather it be too strong and then work to reel it back in than the other way around. There is the second win scenario, yeah, where you get to kind of keep cards. I don't quite remember exactly what that is, but you play as the same spirit. I think the land kind of feels the same, and you keep some of the cards that you've like regained. That's campaigny. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This guy heals. We get to add a presence. I'm going to gain a power card first because I can choose to do these in any order. I'm going to gain a minor power looking for sun. There's their sun. Okay. Sunset's fire flows across the land. I love the names of some of these cards. They're insane. One fear, one damage. You may pay an energy dealing damage in adjacent land. Let's go ahead and take that guy. It's got our um it's got our elements. Is level 3 my comfort level? It's probably a little bit below. Normally when I'm playing with my wife, and I feel like I hit that like excellence flow state. I'm loving the game when I'm at level 4 to 5 normally. Level 3 for streaming is probably my favorite, just because there's a lot going on, and so I like to be able to have I like to be able to tone down the game challenge a little bit, make sure I'm catching everything, and then go. But yeah, difficulty level 6 is where I kind of like to stream, and I would say like the 7 to 9 range is kind of where I like to play normally. When we do play, we will start at level 1 and play all the way through 6 from the adversaries. Can I ask what the name is? You should base lore off patience. Maybe the spirit is kind of a patient spirit, but once he's enraged, he has a terrible temper. What was his name? I sent a picture to my cousin. Swirling sandstorm scours the land. And then that's kind of the art for it. It's fun. It's fun to come up and design stuff. What's up, Greg? We do still get to grow. I know we're playing Blinding Glare. Which will skip up to run 1 Ravage action. To save us there. Yep. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and grow here. We can go 2 away. Let me just put that there. Start another kind of spot for the gaze to hit. Thanks. Do you know what expansion has the Sun Spirit? I think this is Nature Incarnate. I think that's the symbol for Nature Incarnate. We got Blinding Glare. and we get 2 money. I'm starting to panic. It's just like it just gets overrun so quickly. Okay. My fast action, I'm going to go ahead and skip up to 1 Ravage action here. So that's going to be skipped. I could pay him money to do 2 Fear. Honestly, that feels pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 money to spend 2 Fear to repeat this card, because I have 3 in the originating land. And then let's go on to Ravage. So Ravage here, skipping here. We'll build in Sands. This one does not build. And then this one does build. And we're going to explore into mountains. And we have our first beast action available. And now this becomes a problem. Whoops. Nature Incarnate for the Sun Spirit. Sweet. Okay. Jagged Earth, I think, is my favorite expansion. Nature Incarnate is really cool. Jagged Earth was solid 10 out of 10 expansion for me. We've got slow. We can move all of our presence. What do we want to do? I think we're going to go here. This gives us a lot of flexibility. And everything that we have has range, but then we can hit pretty much anything that we want. Okay. Back to growth. I think we have 1 more power card in us. If we go 1 more power card, at that point we have 3 minors and we can start fishing for some majors, I believe. Especially because we're going a lot of top track. I do want the second card play. If we go second card play, we can start dealing the damage to invaders. And then we start adding blight. But don't worry about that. We'll worry about that later. We could go ahead and gain 2 energy, or I guess 4 energy. But I think I'd rather take that next turn when we can get 2 more energy. Yeah, that feels like the right play. So let's gain a power card. It's probably going to be the last minor we take. We'll see. Jagged Earth is the best for me as well. Opening and playing it is probably the peak feeling of board gaming. Yeah, I think it was Nature Incarnate, where we got all of the spirits and we shuffled them up, my wife and I, and put them into envelopes, and then like manila envelopes, and we would pull one out and play. And once we played it, we would trade, put it in the other person's envelope, and that's how we played all of them going through. That was a fun experience. But yeah, Jagged Earth is phenomenal. Some of the spirits in Jagged Earth are just peak. Got Gift of Consistency. Got a Defend 6. Spirit with a presence on target board may add 1 of the destroyed presence. Gather up to 2. Dahan, push a blight. Defend 6 is so hard not to take. Defend 6 is so hard not to take. But does not have our elements. That's the problem. Does it matter? Are we okay not having the elements? Potentially. Two energy at the end of the turn. We can reclaim a power card instead of discarding it. We can add presence. I have a lot of ways to add destroyed presence. I'm going to grab the defense 6. Solves an immediate problem. Ideally, we don't need it. We're going to go here. So we can play 2 cards. Actually, nah, we'll go ahead and... I'm trying to figure out, okay, do we need to play 2 cards? If I'm not going to hit the... Probably go here and here. If I'm not going to hit the 3, level 3 here... No, it's... No. I'm actually going to add this here. We're not going to hit that. I'm trying to figure out if I just forego it. If I don't take this, I don't save this land. We double blight. But that sets us up much better in the future. If we do that, take Gift of Consistency, and I go here. I can play Sunset's Fire flows across the land. So this is going to give us enough sun to hit. Powers don't damage or destroy Dahan. Powers would add a blight. I can destroy a presence instead. And it allows me to do this. Yeah, I think that's the right play. Allows me to hit this without destroying the Dahan or adding the blight. And I can pretty much wipe here. Yeah. Yeah, sick. See you, Trepid. Okay, let's do that. We're taking a hit, but I'm okay with that. Let's get some money. We're gonna take some blight, but I am hoping it sets us up enough for next turn to be, or for the future to be much, much better. Now we get absolutely decimated if we draw into like a mountain. But it'll be fine. Okay, so we got the 2. We don't have any fast actions unless we wanted to use Command Beast, which we do not want to. And actually we do. We have the kickers on both of these. So when our powers would add blight, I can destroy presence instead. Your powers don't damage or destroy Dahan. We're going to Ravage in Sands. So it's 2 blight. Boom, boom. Yikes. We're going to build in mountains. We got 1. Yikes. Oh. Alrighty. And then we are going to explore into jungles. Okay. Our escalation. On each board, add 2 explorers total among lands with beasts. If you can't, instead add 2 explorers among lands with beasts on a different board. So we're going to split these so that we don't create a situation where it becomes a ravage land. Okay. This is where we shine. Okay, We can. What I think we are going to do is use Wither Body Scar Stones to add a Badlands, and then we can do 2 damage, then 3 damage, 4 damage to that land, and it would push this guy out. It would destroy both of these. Would I rather do it over here? Ravaging Mountains. Do I have anything that saves this land? No, I do not. Do I care? I do plan on having a decent number of fear cards next turn, which could help us. I could get a defend card. This land would be easier to defend than this land. I think I want to save the Dahan, if nothing else. So, okay, let's do this first. Let's spend here to add a Badlands there. I can choose to spend 2 money to repeat that power. So right now, I think I do want to do that. I would like to do that. Mainly because I cannot clear that land if I do not do it. Because I have 2 damage, 4 damage. So that'd be 2 and then 4, which is not enough to clear the land. So I have to either do another damage or add another Badlands. I think we spend the 2 and add another Badlands. Okay. I will spend 1 to do 1 fear, which gives us a fear card. 1 damage, which is actually 3 damage. So I'm going to do 1 damage here. I'm going to push that there, fulfilling our Russia, which does a fear. 1 damage, second Explorer that has been damaged by this effect. So it is good. And then 1 damage here. And then we are going to move all of our... Oh, shoot. We'll move all of these to this land. We'll double stack. 1 damage, so it's going to be 3 damage. We can destroy this city, which will give us 2 fear. And then 3 damage to invaders, 3 damage to Dahan, add a blight, which we will destroy. We'll destroy this guy. Because we have, when our powers would add a blight, you can destroy a presence instead. To destroy this town and cause 1 more fear, which is another fear card. That feels good. I really wish there would have been 1 more Spirit Island. I would not count it out. I think we are in a situation where it doesn't look great, but the designers have said that they are not going to stop working on it. And so with that, I kind of hope that we will see something at some point someday. But I know that they were working on a Dahan focused expansion, and that seemed really cool. Alrighty. Whew. Okay, so back to growth. We go power card, right? Like we have to. Unfortunately, well, I guess not unfortunately, but I think we have to go power card. Because if we don't, there's a decent chance we blight this island. I don't think we go major. because we wouldn't be able to pay for any major. So we'll go minor. Hopefully we'll find some defend. Come on. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Gather up to 1. Then, if Dahan are present, defend 1 per Dahan. Or after invaders are added or moved to target land, 1 damage to each added or moved invader. For each Dahan. Alright, we didn't get anything. We'll grab a call to guard. It's got our elements. Okay. We'll go here. We don't have any moon, and so we're going to add blight. We're going to go blighted island regardless, so maybe that's not too bad. Powers don't damage or destroy. We don't have any blue. We don't have any water either, so this innate won't trigger at all. So we will be destroying Dahan this turn if we go that route. We could just not go that route and be fine. Focus on the sun rays. 1 damage, 2 damage to Dahan. Move up to 3 presence directly to target land from anywhere on the island. And I can bring a Badlands with us. So let's go focus on the sun rays. I don't have to trigger this. Might as well set it up so that we could if we wanted to, though. So I see myself doing fear, or the damage here, moving presence, bringing the Badlands. Okay. If I go call to guard. No. I think I'm reclaiming next turn. So. What's up? How's it going, Rex? Go Gift of Consistency. Let's go Gift of Consistency. See what happens. All right. We do not trigger anything on our fast. We can choose ourselves to... Oh, wait. We gain 3 energy. We're going to choose ourselves to gain 2 energy. And then we are going to spend an energy to redo it and get 2 more energy. Seems silly. Seems silly. I like it. Now we have a lot of money, which is good. I can reclaim both of these cards if I wanted to. Okay, so now what we have to figure out is, do we want to trigger Beast right now? I don't think so. I think we're in trouble. We're always in trouble. It's fine. Cool. Yeah. Fear cards. First fear card. Each player removes an explorer from a land with Dahan. Okay. I'll take remove effects all day when playing against Russia. Each player has to strife in a land adjacent to or with Beast. Okay. Could have But maybe I probably could have saved that. I don't know. Probably not. We'll go there. Mainly, explorers are super freaking annoying. Okay. Ravaging Mountains. We've got a Blight. We're flipping our Healthy Island. Downward Spiral. At the start of each invader phase, each spirit destroys one of their presence. That's actually kind of fine for Relentless because we have so many ways to add it back. It comes in with 5 per player. Okay. That's not too bad for us. It's not great. We do have to be careful because we want to maintain having 3 presence in a land going into the slow phase. So we will have to be a little careful on where we destroy that presence from, but we can manipulate, I think. No Ravage here. We're going to build. Boom, boom. Then we are going to explore into Coastal Lands. Coastal Lands does bypass the escalation, which is nice, but it does hit 3 different lands, which is not nice. And now we have 3 explorers in this land, so this will Ravage. A friend of mine tried to get us a group of 4 to play this game a few years ago. He didn't do a great job of explaining, so we have no idea what we were doing. It's a big game. It's definitely worth the investment. I think if you have the time to spend learning it, I think it is worth the investment. It's a big game. And I taught 2 people just a couple months ago, and I've played hundreds of games of Spirit Island at this point. But the amount of rule overhead and it's a tough game to teach is what I'm trying to say. It's a really, really challenging game to teach because there's so many little intricacies. But yeah. If you like Marvel Champions or anything, it feels like a game that you probably will like. Worth the investment. I mean, it's the best. It is my favorite board game. It is my favorite board game. So it's a large upfront opportunity cost in terms of investment and energy to try and learn it, but in my opinion, it's very, very worth it. Very intelligent guy, could not dumb it down enough. What I learned teaching the game to my friends the other month is that this is true with pretty much any game, but you start to learn the language of the game in the sense of like they have terms and different words that people use to communicate what is happening in the game. And the lexicon of this game is so vast that you have to basically teach somebody a pseudo language, then you can teach them the game. And then even before the game, and then after that you have to teach them pacing of the game. And then you have to teach them like strategy of the game. And it's a lot. It's a lot. But there's a reason when people there's a reason that people like it so much. Okay. Not all intelligent guys are good at dumbing things down. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Okay. We're slow. 1 damage, 2 damage to Dahan. Move up to 3 presence directly to land. I can bring a Blight with us. Jeez, we're ravaging. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and this is not too bad. We're going to Blight some stuff. Let's rock and roll. Cool. So 2 away from a Sacred Site. I'm going to choose here. 1 damage, 2 damage to Dahan. Move up to 3 presence directly to target land, and I can bring a Badlands with us. Do I need to do that? So if I go 1 damage here, that pushes this guy out. Then I would go 3 damage to invaders. I do need to bring it. Okay. 3 damage to invaders. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1 damage. I'm going to damage here. And then this Dahan dies. Who needs Dahan? Move up to 3 presence. I'm going to move these 3 here to bring a Badlands. Sweet. Sorry, now I'm trying to figure out if I want to repeat it. If I repeat it, it is 2 damage. So instead I'm going to do there. If I repeat it, we're going to spend 1 to repeat here on the same target land. 1 damage plus 1. So that's going to destroy this city, which will cost 2 fear. Now I'm trying to figure out if I can get back over here. I'm going to spend 2 to repeat it. 2 damage here to destroy this. That's 1 fear. Do I spend 3 energy to repeat it 1 more time? I do, because then it doesn't build. Yep, I'm going to spend 3 energy to repeat it 1 more time. 2 damage. 1 of these is destroyed. 1 of these is pushed. That's a fear when it gets pushed. Another fear card. Then this saves this land from building next turn. That feels big. Okay. That did cost a lot of money, but that's fine. Because now we're going to trigger Scorching Convergence, move all of our presence from a origin land directly to target land. I'm going to go here. 1 damage to towns and cities only, so that's going to be 2 damage here because of the Badlands. Then 3 damage to invaders, 3 damage to Dahan, add a Blight without cascading. Add 1 here. This gets destroyed. So 3 damage to invaders, which is actually 4 damage to invaders, which is enough to wipe. So here's 1 damage, 2 fear, 1 damage and a push, which I'll push here, and then 2 damage here. That's 1 fear for the push. Then that saves that from building as well. Okay. Cool. Cool. Sun hurts my brain sometimes. Alrighty. We ended up just playing Mansions of Madness instead and had a blast. I have played that 1 time. And I think when I played it, I had the same experience as you did with Spirit Island, where I didn't get a great teach and I just kind of fumbled through it. Taught Spirit Island with all the expansions and adversaries to new people, and they all understood it. Oh, geez. They feel, yeah, I bet. Yeah. That's a lot. The nice thing is that one of the people that I taught it to has been asking when we can play it again. So that's always exciting. 2 new people. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay. Okay. We are in growth phase. We're going to reclaim cards. We have to reclaim cards. Grabbing Blinding Glare feels really good. Skipping the Ravage action on this land just feels nice. So I think we're going to do that. That's going to save us from there. The only bad side is that we do miss out on like 1 level of efficiency on adding back presence, because we can add 3 presence and we only have 2 destroy presence. And sometimes I just have to accept the fact that that's okay. So we're going to go here. I'm going to reclaim cards. Then we're going to add, we'll add this sun. I'll add it here. That way we can destroy this presence, continue to have 3 there, have 3 here. So we have a couple of different options in terms of where we want to like push stuff. So cool. And now we have a lot of options. Yay! I do want to make sure that we get a moon. The nice thing is our next growth option gives us an any element. I said that and I heard any because I've been watching Severance, like any outie. But it gives us a wild element which we can use as our moon, so that, or which we can use as our water, so that we don't destroy any of our Dahan. Which we don't have that many Dahan left. We might just let them send them to the ethos. Okay. We only have 1 card left on Terra level 1, so we will make sure that we trigger that so that we hit both those fear cards at level 2, get a little bit of efficiency there. We're going to grab 3 money. We are going to play Blinding Glare, which will give us the fear cards. We don't actually have to use our beast if we don't want to. It has been nice that we have not hit wetlands. That's helped us a decent bit. Honestly, Gift of Consistency. No, the next level here is 4 sun, 2 fire, which currently we have 3 sun, 1 fire, and 1 air. 3 fear if this power destroyed any invaders. 3 fear in a solo game is so hard to pass up. We have to hit that, so we need to find something with fire and sun. So we could go here and trigger not adding blight and then not damaging or destroying any Dahan. That feels good. That feels decent. Because where are we targeting? What are we doing? I'm gonna build here. That's the only spot we're building. I may come blow up this land. If I blow that land up, it's a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear if I blow that land up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go. And we can trigger this now because we'll grow on this top track and we'll be able to hit the water or the moon. So we can go ahead and use this card, put it into our discard pile, and not worry about reclaiming that for the elements for a while. We've played Mansions a fair amount by then, so it was... Oh, yeah. Our go-to game in the Lovecraft universe was Eldritch Horror. We played a lot of Eldritch Horror. There's a lot of fun stories that come out of those playing, or those game sessions. I love Sun. Since he's right innate, let you choose what additional element you really want. Yep, save Blight or save Dahan. Also, I received Terrorscape last week. Rushing to print the minis since I have scheduled weekly play with different people. I don't know what Terrorscape is. What is that? Alrighty. Cool. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's go Blinding Glare. Will cost 2 fear, which will give us a fear card. We're skipping this Ravage action. There. I could repeat it, spending 1 money to grab 2 more fear. It feels hard not to do. Fear is good. 2 more fear there. And then we are... When our powers would add Blight, you can destroy presence. We don't destroy Dahan. Okay. Making sure I got everything. I think I did. So we are moving on to Blighted Island effect. I will destroy this presence. Then Fear. Both at level 2. Each player may gather a explorer into a land with towns or cities, or gather one town into a land with cities. Sweet. I will gather this here. This is now a ravage, but we are skipping the ravage there. So that's good. And then that prevents the build here. And that... Sometimes on Spirit Island, it feels like a key moment where you kind of turn that corner. Preventing 3 builds feels like a pretty decent turn of a corner. Tread carefully. Each player chooses a land with Dahan or adjacent to at least 3 Dahan. Invaders do not ravage there this turn. Alrighty. We're not ravaging in this land again. Nice. So not ravaging, not ravaging. Coastal lands are building. We are not building. So we are moving on and exploring into wetlands. Oh, okay. That's interesting because now these 3 are ravage. They're ravaging, and then we have to add. We have to add 2 explorers, 2 lands with beast. We can save this land from ravaging using our beast. We can save this land from ravaging using our beast. So we're going to add them. Oh, wait. Shoot. We can save this land from. So we're going to go here and we'll figure out this one later. Actually, we could probably just do sunset fire flows across the land to prevent that from ravaging. Okay. Search it up. It's a hidden movement game. That's cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. Do I use major for Suns or does it depend? It depends. It depends. I think at this point I'm ready to go majors because I'm ready to be a little bit proactive rather than reactive when it comes to invaders. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, or what I'm thinking. Okay. So sunset fire flows across the land. I'm going to do 1 fear, which will give us a fear card. And 1 damage. I'm going to target this explorer here. This will... Oh, wait. Actually, this one's fine. Because I can beast to prevent the ravage there. So I'm going to deal 1 damage here. And push this guy here. Cause a fear. Then I can spend 1 energy to deal a damage in an adjacent land. Which I will do. I will spend an energy, destroy this explorer, and now this does not ravage. Sick, actually. That worked out really, really well. Now we're going to move all... Oh, it's 1 away from a sacred site. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Huh. Okay, well, I thought I could go here. I cannot. Okay, well, we'll figure that one out, won't we? I'm going to have put these guys here with that knowledge. Okay. 1 damage to towns or cities only. Then 3 damage to invaders, 3 damage to Dahan, add a blight without cascading. I'm going to destroy this presence instead of adding the blight. Then 3 damage to invaders. So we will go 1, push, that's a fear. 2 to destroy the town. 3 to destroy this guy. Okay. Then if this power destroyed any invaders, 3 fear. So 1, 2, 3, another fear card. Beautiful. Cool. That felt good. Now we are going to Ravage here, but we can save that Ravage by using Beast, but it does create a Ravage somewhere else, which is a problem that we will solve. Problem that we will solve. And I know how to solve it. Sick. I love this game so much. Alrighty, let's go into slow. Or go into growth. We are going to add a presence to be there. I think we're going to gain energy twice. So that's going to be 8 energy. So we can move 3 presents. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. We have 2 card plays. We're going to play Call to Guard. So gather up to 1 to hunt, then if the hunt are present, either defend 1 per hunt, or after invaders are added or moved to target land, 1 damage to each added or moved invader. So I plan on gathering into the hunt into here, pushing it out will blight this land, but I don't know if I have a better option. Okay, so we have 3 sun. We're not playing Call to Migrate, so we have 4 sun. We have 1. We need to play a fire, so we're not going to play Gift of Consistency because I do want this here. So I think any of these can be played, triggering this innate, dealing more fear. Again, we're going for that fear victory. So coastal lands, we're building in wetlands, that's fine. I think we want to go Wither, Bodies, Scars, Stones. 1 damage, 2 damage to the Han. Yeah. We'll go Wither, Bodies, Scars, Stones. We'll start adding some Badlands and dealing some damage. So that gives us 4 sun, 2 fire, 1 air. And we're going to choose a moon for our wild element. The moon is going to help us not add blight. I think that feels good. Okay. How many fear cards? No, we don't have enough. I was like, if we could somehow just get a ton of fear cards at level 3, that'd be so much fun. But we're good. So we're going to trigger this. We are going to gather a Dahan to this land, and after invaders are added or moved to the target land, boom, then 1 damage to each added or moved invader. We're going to trigger our beast. We are going to do a fear for this beast. We're going to deal a damage here, which instead does a fear, which gives us a fear card and pushes. And then when it is moved, it does a damage and pushes and causes a fear based off of this. So we will blight that land because they deal 2 damage, but we're not ravaging anywhere else. Okay. Okay. So we got 3 fear cards, so actually we have to destroy a presence first. Call to Guard is actually really interesting because we can double that up. So defend 1 per Dahan, we pay an energy, gather another one, and then we're defending 3. That's something that I should remember. If we double up on this miner, we can stack that defense, which seems pretty cool. Okay. I'm going to destroy this presence from our Blighted Island. We've got 3 fear cards. Defend 2 in all lands with presence. Each player gains 1 energy per sacred site they have in lands with invaders. So that's 2 energy. Each player removes a explorer or town from a land with 2 or fewer invaders. Remove that guy. Defend 2 in all lands. Cool. Nice. Some miner can seem busted with sun or down. Yeah. Yeah. Especially in lower player counts when it comes to fear. Because you can just like spam that fear. It gets silly. Alrighty. Honestly, I see victory. I see a victory path. Let's go. Okay. So ravaging coastal lands, we don't have anything. We're going to build in wetlands. Which is going to go here and here. Then we're going to explore into mountains. Boom. Boom. And we will add 2 explorers based on the escalation right there. And I think we have... Okay, so check this out. We're going to spend this to add a Badland token here. We are going to spend 2 to repeat that and add another Badland token. Three, 5. We'll go ahead and spend 3 to repeat that again, but we're going to do 1 damage, which will do 3 damage based on the Badlands. So one of these gets pushed. We'll push it here, and that'll do a fear. Then these guys die. We're going to trigger this, move all of our presence from this land to here. 1 damage to towns or cities only, plus 2 will destroy the city. That's 2 fear. There's our fear card. 3 damage to invaders. 3 damage to Dahan. Add a blight without cascading. I'm going to destroy this presence instead of adding the blight, which will destroy here. That's 1 fear. If this power destroyed any invaders, 3 fear. Terror level 3. There are no cities on the board. That's a victory. Ooh. Yeah, Sun, his tempo is crazy. Just like being able to take 8 energy on a turn and then just like spam it feels busted. I didn't actually think that we were going to get there during the slow phase. I forgot about the 3 fear that this can generate. What I was planning on doing is reclaiming cards, grabbing Blinding Glare, and then spamming Blinding Glare. So I could do it, actually at that point I would have 5. So it'd be 3 fear, spend 1 for 6 fear, spend 2 for 9 fear, spend 3 for 12 fear. Yeah, I feel like Blinding Glare breaks the game. Because I can spend 5 energy and deal 12 fear doing 3 power cards, which would just lead me to an automatic victory, which is kind of crazy. Sun gets weaker and higher player counts. Maybe? I think so. Mainly because of this Blinding Glare card. Spending 5 energy, which is really easy to get, to get 3 fear cards feels good. Now, if you have 4 players, that is three-quarters of a play or of a fear card. So it's instead of 3 fear cards, it's almost a full fear card. And so that 5 energy is harder to justify in that sense. But yeah, Blinding Glare seems really good. But yeah, just nuking, kind of like this relentless gaze. I think of it as like a pillar of light, just like circling and just like choosing that land and just bombing it. Thematically, how do you think about Blinding Glare ending the game? Pretty much that, like, right? So just sun scorched earth, like pillar of light just coming down and like raining fire down, scorching convergence, like a magnifying glass, just like burning the land. I like Sun a lot. Sun is fun. Downpour and Sun feel very similar to me, like you were saying, how they can, because they can double up on the cards, it just feels really cool. Nice. Cool. I love Spirit Island. Spirit Island's so much fun. Well, I think next week I'm gonna try and do a Marvel Champion stream. I want to get Ashes to the table. I have this giant box of Ashes now. Oh, you can't see it. It's actually down below. I have a giant box of Ashes that the Ascendancy pledge came in, and so I do want to break that back out. See how that's going, but I'll probably decide. It's gonna be more of a vibe thing next week, but my guess is that it will be on Tuesday that I will stream, and so I'll just post whatever that schedule is on YouTube. Actually, I probably won't post the schedule. I'll just like add the the upcoming live stream, because that actually does show up in people's feeds, and I did not realize that it did. So I feel like I was doubling up on that. He shines way too bright. That Invaders run, yes. Ashes, Spirit, and Marvel Champions are great. Yeah, right. I'm picking between a lot of really fun options. So maybe we'll talk about it on our stream on Tuesday, which is going to be a champion stream, to figure out which one we want to see. But nice. I'm excited. I get to go to visit my buddy this weekend. He's having a baby shower, so I get to go out and visit and hang out with them. They're out in Colorado, so quick weekend trip out to Colorado to see them. Right before the baby comes, which will be fun. That's my weekend. Anybody else have any exciting weekend stuff? I like Downpour. There are very few spirits I do not enjoy playing. I think my least favorite spirit would probably be Trickster. I just don't like the randomness that Trickster introduces, where you like target a land, you discard miners until you find one that can target the land, and it feels like, I don't know, I got burned on that a couple of times, and yeah. That can be struggle. That can make me struggle, but I think that's the only one that I would say I don't love. I also don't love Stone's Unyielding Defiance, or no, Mighty Strength of the Earth. The one from the core set that the one from the core set, I don't love that spirit. Some of his aspects are a lot of fun. I think it's called Nourishing. I really do enjoy. That's also another thing that I want to do more of, is play with the aspects, because the aspects really kind of make some of the older spirits a lot, like, kind of revitalize them, which is fun. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the 37 game of Spirit Island. You're playing Relentless or Aspect Lightning, I think. Relentless is fun. I forgot how much fun Relentless is, especially with having that many boards. Relentless feels very mobile, right? Because he has a move 3. He's always adding 2 away. He feels very mobile, and so it feels like you can help out your neighbors pretty significantly if you just kind of ignore your own board. My whole weekend is outing with workmates. They asked me to bring board. Nice. That's awesome. What are you bringing? I don't like Stone. He's too boring. Yep. Yeah. Stone. I'm glad that he's in the game, because he's a good one to learn on. But he doesn't excite me to pull him out anymore. If someone backs out, I get to play the Sun or Lightning Swift Strike. Nice. Those are both really fun. I like Lightning a lot. Lightning is of the like low complexity spirits, Base Lightning is probably my favorite from the core game. Yeah. And then I also really like River Aspect. Yeah, the higher player count in Spirit Island sounds so much fun. I'm so pumped to hear about it. Cause I want to do it now. I have a ton of fun. Gonna bring Spirit Island, Deception, Murder, Exploding Kittens, and Wavelength. Excellent choices. Those are fantastic. Those are really, really good. We played the heck out of Wavelength during COVID. I was living with some of my friends. They came up. They moved from Florida late 2019 to stay with us because they were moving to Indiana, and they were going to stay with us until they found a house. And then COVID hit, and so we lived with them through COVID, which was great. But we played a stupid amount of Wavelength. We had like a big whiteboard, and we kept writing our like top scores on there. Nice. Sunlight or Haven? I think I was thinking Travel. Travel's the one where you can create like a river along the board, and you can move to Han among the river, right? Haven's also really fun. Haven is a very like fun support thing. Player count for Wavelength, you can play it two different ways. If you play it with if you play with 4 or less, I would play it fully cooperative. And there's ways to do that in the rulebook where like I think it's a certain number of cards and you're trying to get in a certain number of points. But with 4 players, you have 1 clue giver, 3 guessers. That feels more fun. If you go up to like 6 or more, then you break into the teams and kind of do it the competitive way. But I think it's always fun to have at least somebody to talk with on your team when trying to decipher a clue. So if you have 4 players and you're giving a clue, you don't have someone to talk with. And so that feels a little bit less fun. But if you go fully cooperative, you have 2 other people to talk with 4 players. And then at 6, when one person's giving a clue, you have 2 players that are on the team receiving the clue that can communicate and try and decipher the clue together. And so I would say 6 or more. Yeah, 6 or more, I would go competitive. 4 or less, or 5 or less. Yeah, 5 is an awkward count. 4 or less, I would go cooperative, and then I don't think I would play it with 2. It would be a lot, probably 8 or 10. Yeah, so competitive would be perfect. Yeah, you could 10 would be a lot. 8 would probably be where I cap it out. 7 to 10 is okay. Yeah. It kind of, if you're familiar with Codenames, it's going to run into the same kind of situation and the issues that you're going to have with Codenames at higher player counts, where you have one person giving clues, and then there's just so many cooks in the kitchen trying to decipher those clues. So if you have 10, you will have 4 people communicating, trying to decipher a clue, which can get a little crowded. And so if you have 8, that's 3 people trying to decipher the clue. And for whatever reason in my head, that feels way better. So 10 is absolutely doable. I think it's going to shine at 8. But I am curious. I hope you come back and let me know how it goes, because I think the most I've ever played Wavelength with is 6. I would be shocked if they didn't enjoy Wavelength. Wavelength is a really approachable game. Really approachable game. And I like the fact that it like creates teams, and you say it's like with your workmates, and so that'll be a fun bonding experience over that game. It'll suit that well. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Well, enjoy. Have fun at the at your work thing. Hope it goes well. I will be back probably on Tuesday, potentially Wednesday, depending on how travels go. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Peace.